All right, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. So today I wanted to quickly talk about how I lost roughly $250,000 on Carvana stock. I didn't lose it, but I basically missed out on a $250,000 gain. I'm gonna plop up right below all my buys with Carvana, and I bought it at a time. I literally bought it I was looking at this chart right here. Essentially right here, bought a little bit more at 7, but I literally bought it because I joined a Discord for $25 a month. They said buy Carvana. I didn't know any better. It was literally a couple $1,000s that I was investing, and then I sold it. I literally sold it. I think it hit double. I sold it. I made a couple $1,000s, but I missed out on $250,000. And I guess I really can't blame. I can blame myself, but I can't blame myself from the standpoint of I didn't know jack about stocks. I didn't know anything about anything. The stock could have went to zero because looking back on it, Carvana was losing a bunch of money. I didn't know what the company did. I knew nothing about nothing. So there you go. That's essentially, I had no clue it'd go up to 350. But could I have risked that couple $1,000s and not touched it for a couple of years? Absolutely. But one problem I think, and looking back, this is something I've learned, is I bought it on Robinhood, which is something that I've tried to stay away from more so now, because one problem with buying, shares on Robinhood is they really gamify the whole entire, buy and sell stock thing. It is so easy to sell stocks on Robinhood. And so once you see that little percentage gain go up or that little dollar amount go up, you're tempted to sell, right? And that's why currently right now, if you watch my last video, I really only use Vanguard. And I think I'm going to stick to Vanguard for the most part. I look at the market on Robinhood on my phone, but Vanguard is where I actually do my buying, because there's a lot of steps. It's not just a swipe up and you sell all your shares. And so I think a big thing about one thing that I learned about investing is if you're only risking a couple $1,000s, you can only lose a couple $1,000s, right? And if it doubles and you need the money, sure, take the money. But at that time, I had 7 figures or very high 6-figure, 7 figures. I didn't need that money. And it's the same thing that happened with Rolls-Royce stock. I bought a bunch of it at $1. Right now it's 14, so 14x gain, but I sold it because I made a little bit of money. I didn't know better. So I think the biggest thing that I learned about when you buy certain stocks that you don't really put that much in, and the potential is very high. I mean, it could be very high, and the downside isn't that big. Your risk isn't that big. Just stick with it. Buy it on a brokerage where you're probably not going to log in for a while, and just forget about it. And this brings me to another point of a more recent stock with Opendoor that I was looking at. It was 55 cents in June. Keep in mind, the company is doing horrible in terms of, their revenue, and they're not making any money, but they threw in a new CEO, which is something that I looked at and I was maybe they might have a turnaround. The Carvana business, I didn't really understand it much back then. The business was basically buying cars online. And this seems to be somewhat similar. It seems like Opendoor has a concept of getting rid of realtors, doing it through their platform. I haven't looked too much into it, but from what I have seen, if we go to 5-year max, they threw in the CEO December 1st, which is up here or somewhere. Essentially, the stock tanked from there. The stock went to nothing. She recently resigned, and they put someone new in it. I think it's this Indian guy, this guy right here. And I haven't looked into him too much, which I probably should. But in short, for Opendoor stock, I just threw in a couple $1,000s at $3. The worst, I lose a couple $1,000. The best, in 2-3 years, this guy turns it around, it goes up to 30, and I 10x, my investment. A couple $1,000 for the most part won't make much of a difference if you just throw it into brokerage like Vanguard. Forget about it. Don't touch it. Worst, it goes to zero. Cool, you lost a couple $1,000. Best, it 5-10x's. Right? So I guess that's kind of the way I look at risk, but I just want to show you guys this Opendoor stock because it had a huge tank down to here. Realistically, like, it's probably going to go down, honestly. Like, I think even from here, it's probably going to go down just based off like what the general consensus. Most stocks are going down right now, just a tiny bit. I think this is kind of hyped up right now. If you can snag some once it goes down, I think why not? A couple shares, just like this, was doing horrible. They turned it around. Could be worth the risk. Obviously, this isn't like Warren Buffett investing, but I have seen some hedge funds have some positions in this one. So that's basically it. Story of my life, how I lost out on essentially 100x, or like a huge gain, like 100 times my money. And going forward, what I learned from it was put it in a brokerage where you won't be tempted to sell if it doubles in price, because the worst you can lose is a couple $1,000 in this case, for example. And the best is you can 800x your money. So that's it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, give it a big thumbs up. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys for the next video.